Hello, Twitch. How is everyone doing this lovely Wednesday? Hopefully everyone's having a lovely day today. Switch over here to my board here. Get our coffee going. Yeah, so Cal, I sort of got the audio off of this, say, probably almost a year ago now. But I used to play that, like, full feature as, like, my intro to the stream. It's a video from, I don't even remember the right date, but it's part of a Smithsonian archive. Welcome in, Lexi. Today we are celebrating vanilla extract. Gonna put some in my coffee. I've got a New York that I defrosted. Gonna be doing a New York strip with pan-seared New York strip with bacon and vanilla cream sauce. That's gonna be hopefully amazing. A little parsley, a little lemon in there. Then I'm also gonna be doing a tomato galette. I got those lovely tomatoes that I've had kicking around the house here. Made to use up, and I grabbed another bright yellow one to go along with that. And we'll make that into a galette, which is sort of like a rustic pie. And we'll use a little vanilla in there too. And do some mashed potatoes with a little vanilla just to see what that's like. I've caught a couple of places recommending that. We're going to use the vanilla with the tomato galette because tomato and vanilla actually work together pretty well. And it's also great if you're making a tomato sauce. You want to add a little bit of vanilla at the very end because it'll actually help round out a little the acidity of the tomatoes. Make it taste like it just sat on the stove that much longer. So we'll do that. And then it's National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. So how can I not make chocolate chip cookies with vanilla extract? So that is the plan for this evening. Gonna be using the oven a bit. Yeah. So welcome in, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully everyone's had a lovely start to their week. Yes. And I started doing the coffee here actually the last couple of months ago, and I know it's sort of a slow start to the whole stream, but that's sort of the point, because many times when I'm getting going with the stream, I've been rushing around, I've been trying to make sure everything's set up and proper. I get a little bit of that time anxiety going on, sort of a thing, and this allows me to sit here to rest and relax a little bit myself before we get into the meat of things. But I've now got down where I've timed my kettle so you don't have to listen to my kettle heat up. Of course, actually, I have a kettle now that just holds temperature for me, so I guess I'm a little spoiled in that sense. I used to do coffee this way for my business, and so I have served thousands of cups this way. Just habit at this point. I have the stuff to do it this way. I wish I had a bit of better grinder than I do these days for doing that. I want to probably upgrade to a conical burr grinder. It sounds all technical, but essentially it's just a better grinder that this means you get a more accurate grind on your coffee instead of the sort of blender that I use now, which is sort of like you just got to make sure that it hits everything, and you sort of end up with this mishmash with the grinder that I use right now, which you get some of it's a little too fine, and you got to go a little too fine in order to make sure you get everything sort of ground. Still 203 degrees. I upped the temperature on my thing to 204. Just toying with it now that I have the ability to see where I want to go with temperature. As far as my brewing, but yeah, I've served thousands of cups of coffee out of same Hario set without the weight scale below it. It was, 2 different cups, 2 different weights of coffee to throw in the cones. And you pour it till the cup's full. Of course, that was outdoors in the farmers markets. I would probably change that up a little bit these days if I were to reapproach that setup. Welcome in, Mr. Blake Harrington. How are you doing this lovely evening? Glad to see you. Hopefully you're having a lovely start to your week. So we're getting there. My end goal here in weight here is between 415 and 420. For filter coffee and water. Filter's about 1.4. Sometimes they're 1.3, sometimes 1.5. But generally 1.4 grams. So anyone just joining in here tonight, doing vanilla extract as our ingredient tonight. Going to be doing a steak with a vanilla cream and bacon sauce. Going to be doing, and also going to be using the bacon fat. One of the few times I'm going to cook bacon in the pan. I much prefer cooking bacon in the oven. Going to cook bacon in the pan tonight, so we use that same fat to sear our steak with, so we get that bacon fat all throughout everything tonight. Going to be doing some vanilla hinted mashed potatoes. Going to go really light with the vanilla there because it's one of the few cases where I think it can overpower. Going to be doing a tomato galette tonight to use up some tomatoes that I've got, and because tomatoes and vanilla work together. And lastly, going to be doing chocolate chip cookies. National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Cookies. So I guess I can get a bowl out here to get going with our cookies, because cookie dough is going to be the first project of the evening. Not necessarily baking them, but getting the dough together. In fact, I want to procrastinate on baking both the galette and the cookies as long as possible, since it's just going to heat up the house. Hopefully get a little later in the evening to do so. I already have our butter nice and room temp soft here. Actually, you can't really see that, but that's squeezable. Live with that. Been bouncing back and forth with, if anyone's familiar out there with another wonderful streamer, Mr. Rhino Line. Hopefully he's not lurking out there. I can't pay a ton. Can't quite tell. We keep trying to link up here because he's trying to get me some pottery. And today was our second mess up at accomplishing that. Not any fault of, well, life. But hopefully I'll have a nice new mug here soon to say cheers to everyone with. Cheers. Greetings, car guy. Welcome in this fine Wednesday. What is the latest in car news? Sugar. I don't even have the recipe in front of me, it's just now I know it. I gotta start this off. Next we're gonna have to deal with eggs. Why did that open a new window? I didn't need that. Yeah, there we go. Three-quarters cup of white granulated sugar. Need the brown sugar here shortly. Battle already. I don't know if we're gonna win this one. This is a boss level. I'm starting off the day with a boss level here. I think we're gonna go for damage this time, though. Still don't know why the game sounds aren't playing. Uh-oh. This thing just wiped the floor with us. Oh, we still got it, though. Huh. I thought that thing was going to destroy us again. Almost did. Look at all those. QNS2 helping out with the assists there. Getting the reward along with entropy. Congrats. Boss defeated. Victory. Let's see here. I think we sort of want to go for the bottom route here for once. I like mysteries. Let's do the bottom route. Well, mid-bottom. Use my berserker for the day. See how we do with that. 30 minutes. Back to cookies. So first step here is with any creaming method, whether you're using a stand mixer or like me, just prefer using a fork and mixing it in. You want to make sure and coat every single one of those sugar granules with fat. In this case, butter. In this case, European style, high fat, but unsalted butter. Days in bio. What am I missing here? Yep, vanilla mashed potatoes. Gonna go light on the vanilla in the mashed potatoes. That's somewhere where I think it could be overpowering easily. Okay. Oh, where I had, yeah. This is a lot easier for me as far as just writing it in one place instead of having to write it into a bunch of others. I know I had a bunch of dates up there that people watch, but sort of mysteriously it seemed like a lot of other people are doing the same things as me soon. At the same time after I posted them. Yeah, we got a giveaway here soon. Got another... Well, we're under 10 until we get to 750 follows. maybe give you a reason to use a couple of those. Alright. I just did this wrong. I needed more butter. So we're going to warm up a little bit more butter. And this isn't going to be as high fat as the other butter that I had, but it is about $1 cheaper. Want all that fat in those cookies. I was wondering why this seemed so dry when I was going through the sugar here. This is a little bit more what I remember it like. All right. Here's hoping I got enough eggs for tonight. I do. Especially since there's only one in this. I'm not quite sure what that one is off the top of my head. Now for the main ingredient of the evening. Oh, I forgot to put some vanilla in my coffee too. Let's do that too. We're gonna go light on the coffee. That still may be too heavy. I mean, that was maybe like a 1/16 of a tablespoon, a teaspoon. Versus a whole teaspoon for this. Small pinch of salt. Baking powder, baking soda. Pretty high fat ratio batch of chocolate chip cookies, and so I almost think of the leavening agents more as spreading agents than leavening agents, because they're gonna bubble up and cause that cookie to move out. There's nothing restricting it to go upwards. Frito? How can no one guess Frito? I'm glad that was an incredibly small spill. Small enough that I'm not even going to worry about it. Okay, what else am I forgetting here? We got baking soda, we got egg, vanilla. I think we're down to chocolate chips and flour. Let's put our eggs away. We're going to need those a bit later, but that's a bit later. Ooh, I don't think I have enough flour here. Yeah, I don't think I got enough flour for this. I'm going to have to pull out the big boy. Will I make a mess? Oh, it's not quite all fit in this trip. Well, maybe once I take these 2.5 cups out. we're gonna make it fit. Yay, future cleaning projects. I had to go and buy some flour here quick, too, because flour is going to be expensive next year. Not that... I mean, we're probably talking pennies. I really don't know for sure, but I do know that the huge heat waves they've had this year have majorly disrupted our major crops of wheat for flour in Pacific Northwest. So, while I don't know how much they're going to go up, it's going to go up. Super cookie chips, which are just sort of melted flat. I've used these before. I really like how these turn out in the final product. So, recommend these if you're doing chocolate chippers. I like Guittard too, as far as price for taste. Toll House is the classic. It's what I grew up on. I don't know what the price difference is in the chocolate between Nestle's and Guittard. I do know that Guittard is sort of like in between them and Ghirardelli, as far as all your typical supermarkets that I know of. You'd have the typical Ghirardelli is sort of like the, okay, I want to overspend for burnt chocolate. Sorry, if you got any Ghirardelli lovers out there. And then you got the Toll House and the store brand. I need something a bit bigger to finish mixing this. A little bit more heft. Alright, so there we go. We'll let that rest for a while. Go ahead and make our galette dough before we put these on trays and get them in the oven. Thinking I might do the galette and the cookies together. We'll see. I know this isn't part of the galette dough, but we need to cut these up a little bit earlier, allow them to hang out with a little salt. maybe clean up the rest of those too, but yeah, we want to have all these too. Thank you, QNS2. That one's gonna really work. Yeah, we already got into the stem there. Hurry right back. So this is the start of our tomato galette. We're gonna heavily season these with salt to try and extract a bit of moisture out of them. And yeah, I got a little salt in my coffee. Oh wells. And I'm gonna hit these again with pepper a bit later, but so those are hanging out and losing moisture while our dough is going to be getting mixed and doing a bit better. Oh yeah, hey, there's a little vanilla in there. Dough. We need to get our dough together, so we're going to start by sifting some flour. Salt. Actually gonna need to dry the board off here with get rid of the tomato juice. Back into butter, but this time we need the butter to be cold and not hot, or at least room temp. How's that for cutting your butter in? battle. To battle. Even more confusing is that sound works. The widgets work, but the game doesn't work for sound for some reason. How weird. So let's do our battle. Let's see where everyone piled up over here. Am I over here by myself? No, okay, I got some help. I guess you folks just don't get haste. Actually, this is the wrong tool for this. I have the right tool for this. Victory. Victory! Entropy getting those kills. McMargo getting the assists. QNS2 walking away with the reward, though. Welcome in, Tanner M. Ooh, still can't do my Berserker. Let's go with the Rogue for once. Welcome in. Well, if you want to, you can just follow the link there. Okay, we got the start of our pastry dough. What all do we need else in here? We need... Okay. I'm going to add vanilla to this recipe. Even though it's a savory dough, and you're about to find out why it's such a savory dough, we're going to add some vinegar in here too. Vinegar actually will help with the dough. Well, I don't know 100% modern science on this. The old thought is that the vinegar and the acid from the vinegar helps keep you from overworking your dough. I'm not sure if that's modern thought or not. But now that we got that, we need a 1/4 cup of cold water. Wherever my 1/4 cup measure went. Uh-oh. Penguin, thank you for that raid. Welcome in. What were we streaming prior to your arrival? What were we up to this evening? See if we can't form this into a little bit of a disc of a dough. Hey, Alexi! Yeah, the belief, or what I'm going to call the wives' tale, I don't know necessarily the science behind this, so I don't know if it's necessarily true. But from what I understand, the acid or the vinegar helps prevent the gluten form, so therefore prevents you getting yourself a tougher dough. I think that's plenty moist enough there. I'm not going to add any water. I'm gonna give that a little bit of a mix, because it does feel a little wetter on one end than other there. But other than that, this is gonna hang out in a bowl covered with some past scrap in the fridge for a little bit. Pizza! Just ruin your whole night's plans and your diet for the week. And I went and grabbed the plastic wrap one. I wipe off the counter here. You don't need all this flour here. Pizzas for Fridays. Okay. A person with a dedicated day for pizza. I feel like you can't have skins in vanilla mashed potatoes. Anyone that watches me regularly knows I do mashed potatoes. I typically leave the skins on. And I just I'm sitting here wondering about it myself. I'm like, did I really decide to peel the potatoes because I was doing vanilla mashed potatoes? Or was that just... cheesy garlic smash? I like me some cheesy garlic mash. done that a couple of times. I really... Up there with the knife, though, I need to do peeler shopping, too. I need to find myself a nice peeler that I truly like. I've never really had a peeler that I really like. This one's functional. It was a gift from a friend. My other one's functional, too. It's not as nice as this one, either, though, because it doesn't... The metal design of it gets in the way from... It's like for cutting things with a smaller diameter. How do you spend your sprinkles? You spend your sprinkles when I do a giveaway, which we're getting close to one here. I need less than 10 more followers here to get to 750. So I will hold a raffle the stream after I reach 750. And I haven't decided on ticket prices, but I want to try and set the prices so that the people that have been hanging out a while can buy a bunch of them and get a better chance, but everyone can buy some of them and be a part of the possibility of winning. Since it's not really... The whole idea is it's not monetary based, so the U.S. states are going to be complaining that it wasn't free to join. Whereas, like, with Twitch's channel points, they are influenced by donations, bits, tips, subscriptions, and so I can't really base it off of channel points if I want to do legal giveaway. Sprinkles were... I also had the plan of... I haven't really gotten around to it. I actually have been procrastinating on it since the beginning of the year. But I have this lovely cutting board back here behind me in my kitchen that I actually handmade this board, but at the same time it's got a few gaps, a few marks. I've cleaned up a lot of them so you can't really tell that they're there. But at the same time, it's not really a sanitary board to be using for actual food use. And so I've been planning on turning that into my Hall of Fame board for my longtime viewers. And you could spend equivalent of 6 months of viewing Sprinkles in order to get your name on the board. And I'm planning on doing that all as wood-burning streams as a separate above and beyond from my normal food streams. And like I said, I've been planning that since the beginning of the year, so we'll see if we ever get there. I do, but I don't. It's not really what I want my channel to turn into, or my stream to turn into. But if you got something you really want me to do, there is ways to do that. The problem is, especially when it comes to, food. I have to order everything. I have to plan it out. I have to make sure that a lot of the meals that I do, I plan out so that they're, fit in my little, roughly 2.5, 3 hour block stream. I do an occasional long format Sunday stream where we can do some stuff too, but wash a little of that starch off of those potatoes, at least on the outsides. Just above a boil there, with a lid on top. Should come to a boil relatively quickly. Vanilla coffee. You see how excited I am for this? It's almost identical to when you just put one of those French vanilla creamers they have in like the gas stations. It's like the exact same thing. I'm debating flipping all these over and salting the other side. We'll wait. Okay, what else do we have to do for tonight's dinner? Oh, we gotta get into some bacon here now. We need to sizzle some bacon. Nice, big one. So, 4 strips of bacon. I guess we did 5. Or maybe I stacked them. I don't know. Yeah, those 5 slices of bacon. My bad. I did an extra slice. Before you say to yourself, isn't this an excessive amount of bacon for sauce? Please remember we're talking about me tonight. Well, bacon is maybe the only thing that I want, like, heavily cooked. I want it crispy. That's not to say I don't enjoy it every once in a while being chewy and, that way, but for me, yeah, I want some crispy bacon. That's not what we want happening on a regular basis. Might have to rethink that positioning. Little piano jazz with our bacon sizzle. Viking, the horn is from the game, from people placing epic characters on the battlefield. You'll notice in the little bug ticker just below my slideshow of photos in the top corner there, it hides away until something happens in the game. But you'll notice it'll tell you what's going on when that sound goes off. I'm waiting for someone to tell me I missed flipping one of them. And try and point it out to me and try and describe which one that I missed. This one? Maybe it was this one. Do this one again. I've only done this one like 20 times. Still doesn't have any color. Calm down. Crisp and bacon, but we're also rendering the fat here. So we use this for our steak and for our sauce. And I'm going to cut the heat there though. Let the pan do carry over cooking. I turned the oven on there to 375 so that we can get going with our galette. And our cookies. I think I'm going to start in on our galette dough next. Let's do that before I get my hand completely coated in flour. Battle. Beat you all to it. My rogue just killed everything. Victory. QNS2 getting those assists. Entropy getting the gold though. Congrats. Barbarian. Or, Berserker. There. How's that for a plan? Okay, so our savory, somewhat savory galette dough. Going to just give that a quick roll out. Want that to be a bit considerably larger than you expect it to need to be. I went and put the flour away. This needs more flour for dusting. I've learned with the years to be dusting over here with me over here because the fan blowing this way. Still haven't perfected it, but I'm doing better with it. Alright, that's what we're going with for our galette. Now we need to put this on a tray with some parchment. Bacon's still hanging out back here, just chilling in its own fat. Melt a little butter. MSG, salt, pepper, We'll start off by sort of sealing our dough with a bit of egg layer here. Just brushing that over our dough. At least anywhere that we're going to have tomatoes and other things. I haven't revealed to everyone that what we're all throwing in here. So I'm leaving, a decent amount all the way around that we can fold over. We're gonna make use of this once again. Save a little bit of our egg mixture for later on here. Not quite melted with our butter back there. But we're going to take some Asiago cheese. We're going to make a layer of that with this. That's our potatoes coming to a boil. Turn the heat off on those and just let those coast for the moment, because I don't know where the potatoes are at and I'm not ready to test them. And then we got our butter. And this will work fine for this. Make a little bit of a almost paste here for the two. Oops, I forgot something still, so we're going to steal some of that back. Most of that back. We added the salt, pepper, and MSG, but we didn't add the other seasoning. And thank you for that follow, Vesper. Welcome in. Glad to see ya. How's your Wednesday going? Thank you, Entropy. Oh, come on, thing, pull off. I don't have fingernails right now. There we go. That got it off. We'll add a little Italian seasoning into the mix, which is the same herb mix I used the other night. The oregano, marjoram, thyme, basil, rosemary, and sage.
Okay, back on the dough here. Just trying to make sure we got it all out to about the edges of where I'm going to go with the dough inside. We're going to add a bit of vanilla to the rest of this egg. That's going to be over the top and over our eggs itself. Or over the top of the tomatoes. Let's start structuring our tomatoes in here though. Slice these earlier and salted them up so that we can draw some of that moisture out early. Not enough to go around with the yellow. Gonna have to space them out a bit. Slippery sucker. Guess that's extra. Okay, so now we're going to make sure we got everything set here. We've got... I can't stand it. I'm fitting it in there anyways. What else do I need to do before this goes into folding it and finishing? I think that is it. So let's start folding. Then we got our vanilla and egg we're going to go over the top with here. Bacon. Let's get the bacon out of the grease. Crispy. Okay, we're going to save that for our pan a bit later. Let's see how our potatoes are looking. Potatoes are cooked, so those can just hot hold until we're ready. Awesome. So we're going into the oven with this. I'm going to give this all light sprinkle of salt over the top. And a bit more pepper over the top. And that goes in the oven. We're gonna cook that for how long? Oof. We're gonna be cooking this for a minute. So this is going down on the bottom rung of the oven there. We'll let that just hang out. And that is going to take better part, potentially over an hour to cook. Okay, cookies. Let's pan up some cookies. Can only do one at a time here, so only one rack left in that oven. Those going in the oven. Dough is going to take considerably less time. What is it, 10 to 12? 10 to 15? 8 to 10. Oh, I can get another pan ready though, because I'm not going to pull those immediately off of the pan. So I'll need to use a second pan, was what I was getting at, if I want to keep baking. How does this still have a flour bubble after all that mixing? Oh well. It's not a flour bubble anymore. So that's set. Set a timer here for, oh, let's say 6 minutes. Bacon. Bacon and vanilla coffee. Cheers, everyone. Pull our steak out here and have that warm up here to room temp too. Got ourselves a New York bone-in. The bacon I want to chop up a little bit smaller than it is, at least for the sauce part. Fan of that pepper bacon too. Love that little spice kick you get at the end. And the rest of this, we're just gonna forget about the rest of this that's over here. Last 2 minutes to get units on the battlefield for this round of Stream Raiders. Last 2 minutes. 2-minute warning. Oh, we got to start a battle for next week. Our Discord. Need a Discord vote going on here. There we go. There we got our current winner. What are we going to do here for next week? The 11th. As he forgets he has butter on the stove. Turn the heat off on that momentarily. Let's see, you got coffee with 4. Tapatio with 4. Looks like it's coffee versus Tapatio. Coffee. And as always, vote for your favorite for next week by using the emote, the one with the most reactions. I will have to use for dinner and dessert. Yeah, Zen, but you weren't catching what I was saying there. How different is a dinner made with Tapatio going to be from the dinner I made with Frank's already, or the probably upcoming Tabasco? They're all hot sauce. I would love to have. I've got some really wacky things that I've had on there in the past. Like, I think I still have sliders from White Castle on there. Which, how do you turn that into an ingredient? I want some off-the-wall things that are hard to cook with. I'm not so much, I don't need to do the fermented fish from the northern European countries, or... But I appreciate the contributions in any form. We have our first batch of cookies already. Sen. I do tend to use different hot sauces with different dishes. That I do agree with to a certain extent. But, I mean, like, I use Frank's on all sorts of things. It's sort of my go-to for eggs. But it's not what I'm going to go to when I want some actual heat. Pretty much done. A little hint of vanilla in our butter. That is the vanilla going into our potatoes. That, along with sour cream. We're going to add some salt to this mix just to make life easier with mixing that all in. Same with the MSG. And with the pepper. And, do I really want to go there with doing vanilla in there? I think I'm going to leave it plain. Just stop there with that. You weren't supposed to do that. Yeah, but also part of this is I'm sort of over the hot sauce phase. I as I've said before, my mom's got a cabinet of hot sauces back in her place that didn't make the travel out California with me. I've done back when like habanero was the hot pepper. We were just barely getting into some of the hotter stuff. Nowadays, I mean, even habanero is considered weak compared to the big stuff. But the real thing with hot sauce is that it's a cheap gimmick to sell, because you add water, it just gets hotter. battle's ready. Well, it's not just the gimmick of the fact that, I mean, adding water just makes the sauce hotter. It's also, I mean, you can buy pure capsaicin if you want to. Yeah, I can't type either. Don't worry about that, Zen. That's why I stream instead. Because I talk much better than I type. And I don't talk very good. Very well. Victory. Woohoo! Concert time. Victory. Dada helping us out with those kills. Wow, 20 of them. McMargo helping out with the assist. Entropy and Dada getting those rewards. Huh. I think we sort of need to go in here. Maybe have a secondary force up here. But most of us over here. Keep in mind, this is probably going to slow people down, so you either want to be this way or down over here. I don't know, maybe you can cross that real quick and easy. I don't know. I don't think you can, though. So we'll see how that works out. Cookies. Ooh, salmon crack. What is that? Like, dried out, smoked, salmon bits. They do something similar to that. One of the seafood joints here in town. One of the seafood markets does a whole bunch of smoking. And, you know, that's their primary thing, I think. I think they make their markup on salmon doing it. Smoked salmon is some good. You get some in the hands, you not just like. Thank you, XPie. Thank you. Appreciate that. But you get someone. I mean, it's good when you get one of those packets from the stores. Smoked salmon. It's a decent product. You get some in the hands, you like a fillet of smoked salmon at the farmer's market or something like that. Like when I was working at the farmer's markets, they would just like hand that out to people. And yeah, it's entirely different. It's like you fall in love with the stuff. I agreed. Some good stuff. Second batch. Cookies are done. I almost want to give those another minute or two. No, I'm not really teasing you guys with it. You folks. I'm bringing it out of the refrigerator so that it gets a little bit closer to room temp before we get into searing that bad boy. But I am going to salt that now. Why, hello there, and thank you again, Mr. X-Spy. Trippy. There we go. A little more golden. So here's our most recent batch. We have one merge with another here, but nice distribution of different ones that spread all over the place. And other ones that stayed a bit thicker. SoCal, salt. If you're not worried about the taste, sugar isn't too bad of a substitute. It'll do a lot of the same things. But it's not going to be very savory. No, salt is sort of unique in the world. I mean, yeah. At least in the food world. Magic stuff. Just like bacon. Welcome, Colino. Or I believe welcome back. Cookies. I'm doing fine and dandy. We're having a fun dinner tonight, playing around with using pure vanilla extract. And realizing that, yeah,
I should have put the garlic with the tomato galette. That would have been a good addition. Yeah, forgot to do that. Yeah. Good times. But otherwise, for dinner tonight, we're doing a whole bunch of stuff with vanilla extract. Starting off, I'm going to sear off this New York strip in leftover bacon fat back here on the stove from this bacon right here. Then we're going to, after we're done searing that steak, I'm going to build a sauce in there with the remaining fat with a little bit of cream and vanilla extract. And then we're going to add the bacon in towards the end. We're going to give that a little bit of a thicken. And we're going to pour that, or rather just serve the steak with it. I mean, home eating, you could just put that steak back in the pan. We got the tomato galette going on in the oven. That's cooking away without garlic, but with Asiago, with egg, with vanilla. Should hopefully be tasty. I'm thinking of making a little bit of a basil olive oil here for with you can't really see that, can ya? A little bit of a basil oil for over the top of the galette once we're done. And we've got our potatoes here. We got butter for our potatoes with a little bit of vanilla in there. Salt and pepper. Got our potatoes just hanging out back here. Let's see what else we need to do here. I think actually the oil is probably my next project here. So I'm going to pour a little bit of, this pan's already warm, so I'm going to pour a decent amount of oil in this pan. Then we're going to take a couple stems of this basil. Which is actually growing new roots in that water there. See if I can't pick up one with a couple of roots in it. Oh, these two ain't doing much. This ought to be good for our project. So I'm just going to take the major stem off of these. Won't worry about the smaller stems. Or the flowers, for that matter, because we're all going into the oil. Nice! Yeah, fried rice. I basically lived on fried rice when I was living in LA. Different variations. Simple, easy, cheap. And then all of this, I'm not going to be very pretty about it. We're just going to give this a rough chop into the oil. Turn the heat on back here. In the oil. And yeah, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to add a little of this too. I'm going to add a little of this.
using it up, but I've got this dried Italian seasoning. I'm just gonna throw it in everything until I use it up. If I can open it. Oh, hey, I got it with my finger that time. You cannot beat homegrown. That'll work for this project. Make sure we get all that coated with that oil. Just bring that up to a temp. Should actually get a bit brighter green. I think I need a little bit more oil than this for this project. This is obviously going to be in use for a little bit more than just tonight's dinner. This is a bit pricey as far as oil is concerned, but it's a great thing to have around. Used to make this resort hotel that I worked at. Used to make this in my flour container, 5-6 gallons at a time of herb oil. There, we got some nice color starting to come out of that basil, and before it gets too overcooked, we're going to get that all in the blender and cooling back down. I'm going to give that a proper puree. There's our third batch of cookies already. Ugh, shut up, oven. I know you want me to click a button. Shut up. Third batch of cookies out of the oven. Third batch looking maybe the evenest of the bunch. Maybe a little bit lighter than most of these. This one here is going to be delight. It's huge though. Okay. Quick mute for running the blender. catch up on chat here. Yes, I'm very jealous, Kalina, that I don't have a garden going this year. I do normally have a raised bed or two going, but current situation, I can't be doing that this year, unfortunately. SoCal, I have not done anything along that line. I started off doing Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays because those are the major farmers market days in Sonoma County. And so I was picking up fresh stuff direct from the markets and doing it here. COVID, I started doing long planned menus out when I was doing, month, 2 months ahead of schedule. The last couple of weeks here, I ran out my schedule and I haven't had no one. I've been sort of enjoying just sort of freewheeling on Fridays and Sundays. I will get another menu plan going here for the future, but I'm sort of procrastinating at that right now. And then Wednesdays we always have the ingredient challenge going in Discord, so we've always got something fun going on here on Wednesday. Friday and Sunday a little bit more up in the air on what's going on, but can be fun just their own. Going into Discord now and deleting those old ones in the ingredient suggestions channel. Please feel free to make your own suggestions. Like garlic bread. Garlic bread's a good one. How do you turn garlic bread into dessert? Dr. Pepper. There's some good ones out there that, not sure what I'm going to do with Captain Crunch or... I guess there's some things, but Crazy Bread, that one's a tough one for sweet. Yeah, feel free to make your own votes and make your own suggestions. If there's anyone new into Discord, I will give you permissions after the stream. So we've got our herbs and oil somewhat blended now. I'm sort of think I want to get that a little bit longer in the blender. There we go. Fuse that a little bit more there. And we're going to strain this as well. Oops, sorry for bumping the camera there, folks. fighting thing? Is there a command for the fighting thing? The Stream Raiders, type exclamation mark SR. I'll give you a link in chat, and that will lead you to Stream Raiders, where you can join in the battle. I know people normally think that's song request, but this is not a music channel. And so that isn't very clear as a liquid for you folks. Let's put that in something a little bit more obvious as to what it looks like here. So that's going to make your green olive oil look sort of like a sad excuse, lest you're from Spain or something like that, using unfiltered olive oil. Which, by the way, if you ever visit Napa, there is a very decent olive oil company in, oh, what is the name of there's like a market there. All sorts of fancy places, all in one little, like, mall. I can never remember the name of it. It's right next to Fad Calf. Fad Calf is technically part of it, although it's a separate building. And they have an olive oil dealer there that's a Napa-based olive oil company. Got a decent number of olive producers here. Same sort of region that you do grapes, you do olives in. And so there's a fair number of olives in the area, and so they have all sorts of different olive oils, whether they're imported or are local. And so you can try a whole bunch of different ones. Sort of a cool little shop. Though at the same time, there's some other places there. Like there's a distillery in Napa that I think of as sort of being new to the game. I mean, distillers, you're talking decades, if not centuries, as far as age. And I think they're sort of trying out and trying to find their own niches and a whole bunch of stuff. But basically selling their stuff off being from Napa, using the name to sell it off because they're learning themselves. But anyways, that reminded me of the olive oil place. But not everything in that place is that great. But there's some really nice little shops in that mall in Napa, downtown Napa. See if we can't consolidate cookies a bit more. Get ourselves at least down to one tray. Don't want to put them all on that same cookie plate because they're going to start... The ones that are soft are going to melt over the other ones. We'll add them later once the sugar's cooled enough to sort of set. Okay, so we got our basil and herb olive oil. And we got a battle to do. Already. Cheers, everyone. Let's see what we can do with this battle here. We want to do that. Nah. We want to do this.
Get the one lone berserker in the back half. Let's see how long it lasts. Not long. Valiant tried to give us a second force, though. They're trapped behind the wall. They're so slow. Ah, they took out my rogue. You got this, McMargo. Beak helping out with those assists. Welcome in. It's not a name that I recognize. Glad to have you. Inchby getting those rewards, though. Still can't do it. Go with the warrior instead this time. And who knows what's going to pop up, because more stuff is going to show up over time. But yeah, these chocolate chips, we're going to see if we can't get a little bit of a pull. Well, a little bit of a pull. I think we might be a bit heavy on our bacon grease here. So we're going to let a little bit of this go. Just a little bit more than a thin coat on the bottom. We want enough there to help with our steak, but the rest of it is sort of unnecessary. And it's just going to make it's not going to help our sauce out that much since I'm doing a thick and cream sauce. So we're heating our pan up for our steak now. Got a bit of a bubble going with our galette. We'll see how that turns out. Chocolate chip and banana bread. I haven't made banana bread in a long time. I haven't done much with I don't have the greatest track record with bananas on this stream. I don't know, maybe I scarred myself. But we're going to get this pan roasting here. And get this pork fat smoking so we can get this steak on there. X5. Yeah, it's getting to be quite a list. I mean, I wish I did a better job of writing down the things that I want to do. Because at this point I have quite the list. I just don't remember any of it. I can't remember nothing. Let's see, I think these are maybe good enough that we can start stacking these. Well, hopefully it's a good friend to steal the last year.
Ice cream. So that's smoking now. So I think it's time to put our steak back on there. Or put our steak on there in the first place. Again, if I was butchering this steak, that thin white line there that's on the front of that steak there, I would have pulled that off of the whole primal. I'm not going to go and individually do it to each of these steaks because I'm going to cut into the meat too much to remove it.
Nice, X-Spy.
I've been getting out and walking a little bit more. Man, COVID just absolutely destroyed me as far as diet, and I was doing so much better as far as maintaining my weight and that before. I gotta get back into that. Gotta fight my way back into that. Turn the fan on high here. Apologize for your ears. Steak. Maybe it was just the back mic when I had two mics going that the fan was an issue. I was saying earlier, I still want to get a setup where I have a shotgun mic maybe across the counter here and a shotgun mic down at the main action here on the stove, and then just use a lap mic. You'll get rid of some of the sink noise and some of the clanging of pans that I'm not doing directly in front of whatever mic I would have. See if I can't get that to rest on the bone there for a moment. The more you can heat the bone, the better. I wish you could, like, you know, plug the bone in and cook the bone separate from the rest of it. Because it just holds so much heat. It's so much of a heat sink that it just pulls away any heat from the meat that's cooking. And so you always end up with a little bit of a rarer cut, rarer cook around the bone. Set that over here to cool. I know the light's killing the look. That is a gorgeous piece of meat. Nope. We're letting that skillet cool down a little bit here while we toy with our potatoes. I'm going to strain the potatoes just using the lid. Still haven't learned my lesson from the last time that I spilled half of my potatoes in the sink. Taters. We got this deliciousness that we're going to add in to some sour cream with. This will work fine for this project. So we already got our vanilla in here with our butter and our sour cream. Some of our seasoning as well. So we got all that deliciousness in there now. Add a pinch of that Asiago. We're going to start mashing. Oopsies. I cleaned that right before stream. Would I do that to your food? Absolutely not. Will I do it to my own? Absolutely. Now is one of those times I wish I had a little stock defrosted. I'm just going to use a little half and half here. Thin this out a little bit. There's our vanilla mashed potatoes. It's there, it's faint. Sort of actually sort of rounds out that cream to it. I don't think that's bad. I think that's a nice little hack to add in. I might have to start adding a pinch of vanilla into my potatoes. Okay, low flame on our steak pan. Steak's still resting. That's a medium rare. Add a bunch of half and half. Fan here. Make sure and get all those good crispy bacon bits up off the bottom of the pan. Get that in that flavor. Add our vanilla to our sauce here. Gotta be careful with this one. That's pouring alcohol over a hot pan. You gotta be careful with that one. Though, at the same time, that was... I have maybe a shot worth left in that bottle. It would not be the most impressive fire, I don't think. Hey, Big Davey. Welcome in. So now down to a low flame here. Still at a boil. How you been, Big Davey? I am doing quite lovely this evening. We need some starch. We need some cornstarch. How's the, was it the leg that you had surgery on? Apologize if I had that wrong. I have a horrid memory. Making our oobleck. It's such a weird feeling if you haven't mixed this combo before where, I mean, it's like almost solid, but it's almost liquid at the same time. Like, it breaks. Ouch, Big Davy. Okay, making that cream mixture back up to a boil again. Shouldn't be too far off here. How did this get so cold so quick? I mean, it was at a rolling boil there a moment ago. I'm using cornstarch because I have cornstarch. It's easily available. Recipe does call for arrowroot for this, which does, it ends up with a little bit of a clearer product. It's a little bit different of a starch, but in the most basic sense, it's still a starch. What I'm doing right now, Big Davy, is I'm making a cream vanilla extract and bacon gravy for our steak. There we go. That'll be good in our thickening power. Bit of black pepper, a little salt. That's a little bit thick, so I'm going to add a bit more water in there. Got a little too much starch going. I do want to bring it back up to a boil though, so that we get the full thickening power here. Before I decide how much more cream or butter we want to add in there, I'm going to add a bit more half and half. Okay, there's our sauce. Add in our bacon. No drink tonight. I thought about making a couple of different drinks I considered making. But in the end, I didn't feel like buying extra alcohol for the privilege. I actually want to, as bad as it's apparently America's favorite drink to look up is pina colada, but apparently one of the top rated cocktails in the US is a porn star martini, and so I'm intrigued. I don't even know what it is. Okay, heat off back here. We're gonna take our lovely steak here and cut this off the bone real quick. See, much more rare towards the bone. Still a nice medium rare. Actually, it's a little rarer than medium rare, but I'll still live with it. I actually thought about doing... I don't have my ice cream container frozen, but I thought about doing vanilla Coke Slurpees. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We'll save this for gnawing on a bit later. I'm gonna put the rest of this out of the way though. Don't have anywhere to put you out of the way. Engineer a space here. Photo time. Battle? Already? I'm not ready for the battle. We're gonna put off the battle for a minute here while I finish up this last little bit here. So you got a heat on in this pan. We got our herbed olive oil. As he realizes everyone can hardly see what he's doing, that will at least be somewhat closer. Okay, flame off. So we've got our heirloom tomato galette. We got herb olive oil with some garlic that I just sauteed in it, because I forgot to put the garlic in it earlier. Drizzle that around the outside there and over the top. I knew that was happening at some point. Timber. It's a little parsley on top of that bad boy too. If only for a little color. Probably a little chive would have been primo for this, but I haven't been able to find chives anywhere lately. Chives been really hard for me to find lately. That's probably actually all I need. Oh, that's solid unit too. That is one nice bottom to that. Nice bottom. I gotta share that with you folks. Look at that bake, folks. Look at that gorgeousness. Raid.
Welcome, Raiders!
How is everyone doing this fine Wednesday afternoon? I had to sit there and think about what day it is. Welcome in. Glad to have you all in. What were we doing tonight? Eric, what were we doing with leather? We're almost done here tonight. We've got my tomato galette that I just finished up here. Gonna take a photo of this before we get any further without me forgetting. Die work and some small card. Nice. Thank you for the bits. Appreciate that. So we've got here an heirloom tomato galette with an herb oil that's mostly basil. Some dried herbs in there as well. That's what I forgot to do for this project. Let's see if we can't sneak that in the center there. Little basil flower. So we got... So underneath these tomatoes here, there's a layer of egg and cheese. So very light layer of cheese using, what is the name of that cheese? The, sheep or goat meat? Asiago. Very, very sharp, but also dry cheese, often substituted for Parmesan on a lot of things. Cooks, melts a bit lower. So no, not quiche-like, a little bit more like tomato pie-like. There's a very thin layer of cheese there on the bottom. And, yeah, also a little vanilla in the shell. There's a little vanilla in the egg and butter mixture that went over the top of this, too. So that is one part of tonight's dinner. This is sort of like the side dish to tonight's dinner. Give you a little bit closer look at those tomatoes. They just sort of melted into each other. Also tonight, it's starting to bleed a little bit into the rest of my sauce here, but we've got ourselves a rare to medium rare New York steak with a cream and bacon and vanilla sauce. So this is actually our thickened gravy sauce. Ooh, vanilla's nice in that too. We've got mashed potatoes made with a bit of vanilla. Let's get ourselves a side of these with our dinner tonight. I'm gonna eat that steak straight out of the pan though. Oh yeah, there's a little cheese in the potatoes too, but there's vanilla, there's sour cream. And the last thing, but certainly not least, is I have a mountain of chocolate chip cookies tonight. Obviously made with a little vanilla in there. But it is actually National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day today. So you all have an excuse now to go out to the local shop and pick yourselves up a dessert tonight. Might even pour a little of this over this just to show the color we got there from just that little bit of herb into our standard olive oil. How green that is. Awesome, awesome. Let's see, what else do we have to do to figure out tonight? I think all we got left is a Stream Raiders battle. If I can find the lid to my pan. There we go. Gotta keep the rest of those potatoes warm. Actually, those potatoes, like, shockingly remind me of potatoes from, like, a buffet. Like, super shockingly. Like, the flavor is, like, I'm now convinced that they used to use vanilla in these potatoes. I don't know what to think about that. I want some cookies, too. These cookies are... Use the Super Cookies chocolate chips. Oopsies. Oopsies. Glad I'm done cooking. Let's see what we got for a battle here. This is one of those... They show up after I put my units up there, so I have no idea what I'm going to come back to on these maps. Looks like we got some walking to do. Let's see how we do. $12 versus $40. Yeesh. Still got 12 though. We're just draining them. Victory. Victory. I guess I sweeped everything there. Dada helping out. Who's gonna get the rewards? Dada and SoCal Aussie. Congrats. SoCal probably been fighting all night. First battle he gets some rewards from. Appreciate it. We'll come back to this here on Friday. We'll continue on. X-Spy. Who are we gonna give a raid to tonight? Haha. I think we're gonna stay with food and drink tonight. Well, let's go hang out with... Well, actually, let's hold on here. Let's see how long... Oh, we're fine. Let's go hang out with Zobocat. Go make her put a hat on for us. Give her a warm welcome. She was celebrating her birthday last week? Late last week? Early this... recently. She had her birthday recently. Great streamer. Wonderful personality. I'm going to go and enjoy all this deliciousness. I can't wait to dig into that steak. I want to thank you for joining me. We do have the next battle going on here in Discord between Coffee and Tapatio for next week's challenge. If anyone wants to make their votes known, we already got one person making their opinion known. And I will see you all back here on Friday. I have no idea what I'm planning to do on Friday. I do have a nice roast in there, beef roast defrosted, so that'll probably be either Friday or Sunday. Otherwise, thank you all for joining me. Thank you so much for the raid, Irk. I hope you all have a great night. Thank you for the resubs, subs, all that good jazz. And I hope you all have a great night. Bye-bye now.